Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports with Dolav.
He's talking shit about the game. He's got a weird fucking name. It's Sports with Dolav.
This week, we're going to be talking some NBA. That's the NFL. It's time. Preseason is here. Let's go. NBA, baby, is back. Almost. All the crazy offseason shit. James Harden's still in Philly. But the big news, Damian Lillard traded to the Bucks. We got Dame Dollar in Milwaukee. Drew Holiday traded to the Blazers, but then rerouted to Boston. Holy shit. Insane move. Boston versus Milwaukee. Milwaukee versus Boston. That's gonna be the fucking series to watch. What the fuck? Milwaukee! The Greek freak Giannis and Dame Dollar. Are you kidding me? They are my favorite to win the championship. That's my pick. The Heat get fucked. Jimmy Butler is pissed. He fucking straightened his hair because of it. Looking like Terry Crews in fucking Idiocracy. Wow. What the fuck? Lakers, they ain't doing it. Sorry. But the Nuggets are still the team to beat. They are the reigning champs. They have two-time MVP, the Joker. Jam Band Fantasy League is back. Degenerates League is back. We back, baby. Nick Gerlach, you're going fucking down. We're not letting you take it again. Not this year. You little bitch. Jack Brown, you're going downtown, down, Brown. You're never going to win your own league because you ain't shit. Big Dick Nick, I love you. Let's go, I hope Nick. I see you in the finals in both leagues. Step it up this year, bitch. We got Elle Duncan in the house. Let's go, Elle! You are a queen. We love you. You're incredible. Can't believe you're on this silly show. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know all the shit on all the sports.
And I hope you listen to this because I love you.
It's Sports with Dolav.
It's the Utah Jazz's time in like 4 years.
All right, and we're live. Andy Frasco's World Team Podcast. How we doing? How's our heads? How's our minds? Are we still not fucking hungover? I am fucking so proud of this band. Let's go. We're feeling good out there. We're feeling alive. We're feeling it. Y'all, Skippy, come over here. Get over here for a second. Let's just we got Elle Duncan on the show, ESPN Sportscenter anchor. She's amazing. But before we do that, we got Skippy. Hey, Skip, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Andy, how are you doing?
How's the merch selling?
Like hotcakes.
Woo! Make that money, Daddy. Let's go.
We're setting records out here.
We're setting records.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't come buy more.
How what's the best part of being merch for the Frasco Empire?
All the great
I
conversations.
just called this thing an empire. We're playing like Richmond.
Richmond's great. Okay,
I fucking love this town.
It is an empire.
Yeah.
You've been growing it.
You're right.
For years.
You're right.
From the roots.
You're right.
It's what was the question?
What is it? Are fans nice? Do they care about, what do they care about? Do they like just there to flirt with you, give you drugs? Do they want to tell you they love the band? What's the most random drug someone's given you at the merch table?
Probably DMT.
Really?
Yeah, I just gave it to the next customer and they loved it.
Let's go, Skippy. Always making the customers happy.
You know, I would say your fans are a direct reflection of you. Really? Yeah.
They're the best.
They're insane.
They are. They're fucking crazy people.
In the best way.
But they're all
lovable
like, yeah,
psychos.
and they're making us like gifts of us now. It's like,
no, the other night, the doll you got, a crocheted doll of you.
Yeah, it
was I thought it was a voodoo doll. I started poking it and asking for more money. It was crazy.
It's going to take a lot more than a voodoo doll to get more money out of me, Skip.
She said the hair alone took her 8 hours.
Yeah, she was saying like the crochet, she's like, yeah, I just worked on it a couple hours every day for like a couple weeks. I'm like, what the fuck? My fans are the best. Shout out to my fans. We love you. Yeah, we're going to miss you. This is the last week of tour.
Dude, I'm going to miss you. I'm back the beginning of December.
I know. You're like part of the family now.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
I wonder if like Little Stranger gets like kind of like salty when you're with us and you're just laughing and having a great time.
No, it's like off season if they don't have something else going and I'm just in training camp.
Let's fucking go. That's my dog. That's my dog. Let's go. How's the rap career going? Are we gonna do a
it's going-
collab soon?
I think we should.
I sent you that track.
Oh, we got something in the works. I didn't know if you want to tell them yet.
Yeah,
so.
I want. I mean, we're gonna get Skippy on for a full hour one of these days.
Do it. Let's do
when
it.
you put out a record and stuff, and we'll,
I got one coming up.
When is it coming?
I'm not going to announce that yet.
Okay. Oh, see, that's the difference between me and you. I just blab my mouth like, yeah, we're opening for this, and blah blah blah, before anything's announced, and everyone's like, what the fuck, you're fucking scramble brain. But
Well, I also don't want to say it and then it not happen on time.
True. Yeah, respect.
So.
I respect that. We love to see it. We love to see it. We'll go out there, go do the inventory for merch. We're selling a lot of. Thank you everyone for buying merch. I mean, that's keeping us alive. Really is.
It is.
Like, it means the world. It's like how we could hire great photographers. Like, Em, get over here
That's
too.
right,
Em,
that's
get over
right.
here. We needed some more estrogen in the group, and we got Em. Em, this is our band photographer. Say hello, Em. How you doing? How you doing, Em?
Good, I'm good.
Day one of tour.
Day one of tour.
We're gonna make a calendar.
We are.
What are we gonna do? Put the
We're gonna
mic closer.
We're gonna do all of the things.
You had a great idea.
Yeah,
We're gonna do a
monthly
band
themes.
calendar.
It's gonna be sexy.
Show the sexiness of this band.
Best Christmas present.
Show the outside of touring off stage. I think you're gonna love this for our Christmas gift, or not gift because you have to buy it. But Em is
We're
one of
gonna
the
get
best photographers
artsy.
out there.
We're going for the angles. We're going for the emotion.
How you feeling about being with a bunch of dudes on this tour?
Feel
We're not
pretty good.
smelly.
You
We're
know, not too bad. Everybody's very well behaved and cleans up after themselves
Yes.
and taking care of each other. And I
And-
couldn't feel like safer or like I'm in a better place if anything were to go down. These guys got my back.
We will fuck them up. If anyone
Exactly.
fucks with you, Em, your family. I can't wait to see all the amazing art you're going to bring to this world. And this is just the beginning. We're
Super
taking you
excited.
out more and more now. It's going to be
Gonna be
fucking fun.
fun.
We need that estrogen. We need
Watch
that. We need
out.
that. I need that.
Got the
so I don't have to.
glitter.
Sometimes I get really like too alpha male-y. Sometimes when I listen to sports and like fart in front of everyone.
Oh, we're gonna watch makeup competition shows.
Yes!
We're gonna watch reality TV.
Oh my God, can we binge watch all that
Housewives?
shit?
Yes.
Let's go. I fucking love it.
Absolutely.
God, this is great. My life is in a great spot right now. We got the ladies taking care of us. I'm so thankful you're on the tour with us. And
I'm so thankful
just
to
let
be
me
here.
know anytime you get irritated with anyone, talk to us, communicate.
Doing it. We're gonna powwow.
Don't suppress.
Never.
And because I like our morning coffees where we just like don't talk and just
Coffee and scroll.
on Instagram.
It's research, right?
It is. We're researching. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're researching jokes and stuff. All right, go out there. Thank you so much. We
Thank
love you.
you.
We got another crew member, baby. Let's go, baby. We're estrogen in the building. Let's go. We love it. But this has been amazing. This tour has been amazing. We're super stoked. Everything's been cool. Speaking of cool is the shit. We had a bonding of bond. You know, we should get Sammy and Greg. Sammy and Greg, get over here for a second. We're getting you on the podcast right now. We need to talk about this. You guys just got married. Hell, come on, get over here, ladies and gentlemen. Sammy Garrett, how we doing?
I'm
Greg,
good. How you doing?
Greg, hey, we love it. We had the best bond last night.
Oh my God, that was incredible.
Why
that
don't
was incredible.
Why don't bands do that more?
I don't
like
know.
all of us together having dinner on our days off. It's just like it
was-
just makes the camaraderie so much better.
Eating Italian food, listening to the Godfather theme music,
While we
drinking
eat spaghetti.
drinking bottles of wine.
I know. We loved it. So you guys are married. I got to ask you this. What is it like being on tour as a married couple? Is it weird? Do you see each other every day or is it just normal? Another day in the
No,
office?
it's just normal.
Yeah, I don't think it's weird at all. Actually, we've been doing it forever. It feels good. We have a partner always. Yeah, you're never just like out on your own. I mean, we can be when we need to, but yeah, no, it's awesome.
And you guys aren't like crazy alcoholics like I am, where it's like you roll in, one person rolls into the hotel at like 4 a.m. You guys like in the
No.
bed 2 a.m.
I mean, we have our nights though where we, go out and then I'll come back at 4 a.m. and who knows, but then we can also.
Yeah, we choose our moments for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
This is what I loved about you. We're all like, yo, let's get another round of beer at the after party. She's like, I'd like some Chips Ahoy cookies, please, and some milk,
some whole
just a little
milk.
sweet snack.
But I had a great time.
I know, we
I
had
was
so
taking
much
shots
fun.
of tequila and drinking milk, which is maybe not the. It's definitely the ingredients for vomit. But
Damn, you're gonna
I
shit
was
yourself,
fine.
Sammy. Jesus Christ.
I mean, she hit the Jameson bottle on
She
stage.
did.
I did. I do that.
My
Off
favorite.
your cigarette one night.
That was my
did. I
favorite
smoked
moment.
her.
That was my favorite moment of the tour. You're like acting all cool and shit, like smoked it.
Yeah.
And then fucking just like, what the fuck did I just do? But it's been great
God.
doing No Doubt with you guys.
Oh my
and
gosh, it's
I
been
just,
a
I
fucking
love
blast.
you guys.
We love you guys.
It's like, were you worried at first? Were y'all worried? Like,
absolutely not.
really? Like we're crazy
Zero
people?
worry. It's just like you guys are just like a bunch of mush balls
I love you.
in like the best way possible.
You're the best. Cool,
You're
cool,
the
cool.
best.
I love it. You guys
I
gonna
love
be?
you
Are you guys gonna be
guys.
doing more touring or what?
More touring, bunch of recording,
Yeah.
writing stuff.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I fucking
Let's
love it.
fucking go.
Greg, you're the man.
Love you, brother.
I could tell you have a big dick. You know why I could tell you have a big dick? Because you're just chill.
Just chill, man.
So
Just-
chill.
I feel like we were talking about this. Like Skippy, haven't we been talking about Greg's hog? We're like, he's got a hog. It's massive.
We can't stop talking about it.
Can't
man.
stop talking. Wow.
He's been texting me.
We were like, we're doing an over under of like how big the hog is, because like like quiet dudes who just like just like
Stealth.
confident and stealth. I mean, Sam, I see it in your face. It's the man's got a hog. Guys, enjoy your marriage. We love
Thank
you guys.
We love you guys.
And I'm gonna let's cherish these last 3 days of
Let's
tour.
fucking go.
I fucking love it. I love you guys. Oh
we
my
love
god,
you.
cool is in the fucking building. Thanks guys so much. I love you guys. Oh god, this is the best tour ever. You know what? Fuck it. We gotta get the tour manager in here. Christopher Malafonte. Buddy.
I thought I just barely missed it.
Nope,
I was
you're
like,
in.
thank God, I don't have to do this.
My man. He knows the man who is in the band and also the tour manager driving. Get closer so you get over here. They want to see your hot. You're a hot guy. We're gonna pimp out. We're gonna
Andy.
pimp out your singleness.
Andrew.
We need to get this man laid, people.
Andrew.
Podcast people. If you are
Andrew.
looking for a man who does everything, rents vans, plays a killer trumpet,
Whoa, thank you.
advances shows, gets paid at night when everyone else is fucked up. This is our guy. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
You feeling good about this tour?
I'm feeling great about this tour. Thank you for having us.
Dude, you're the
It's been a
best.
blast. We were talking last night, and I think realized that you guys were on the road with us when we were with Turquoise.
Our first ever
the
tour.
First ever tour.
Yeah.
And this is basically like our first ever tour as Cool, being out on our own, doing our own thing.
It's
and
fucking
so
awesome.
here we are. Like what a crazy world this is. It comes right back around.
That's the beautiful thing about the music industry. That's why you can't burn any bridges.
This is so true. And this is like the number one.
It keeps you humble.
This is the number one thing that I feel like I've learned over the many years we've been doing this, is that it comes back around, and it's these, you see the same people, the same friends that you make, and the people that you treat well, you keep seeing them.
Right.
And these people, and they come back around, and it's really an industry of people that you know and making connections. And that's why it is important to treat people well and to have a good attitude and to just put your best foot forward. And that's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's what we're trying to do here.
Exactly.
you know?
Let's fucking go, Chris.
Let's go, baby.
That's why you're doing big things, baby. Let's fucking go. But like, it's true. Like, that's why I want. Like, I'm bummed we waited fucking till the end of the tour to have that family dinner. But we've been like just on two paths, you know.
It's true. But you guys have been driving overnight through the night to get there. We've been doing more or less the same, and it's been busy. But we're both out here killing it.
I love it.
It's been awesome to see all of you guys just being successful and having a great time, and we're right there with you, like having a great time.
I know.
And this has been fun as hell.
Chris, this has been great. I also, what's very fast, because I used to do this too. I'd I'd be in the band. I'd have to get paid after the show. Like, you're doing everything. You rented the van. I mean, you're basically running the show here. Has it changed the dynamic of the friendship that you have with your brotherhood and sisterhood of this band? Because you are the boss.
This is something like it's not necessarily new for me, because we've been touring together for so many years, and
Right.
at the beginning I was doing the same thing many years ago, tour managing, driving, doing the books,
Right.
payouts, the whole thing. So this is kind of and we got to a point where I didn't have to do that every day, but this basically starting again with cool is like it's all hands on deck, and come at this whole experience with the things that we've learned over all the years, and we learned how to do it right by doing it wrong so many ways first.
Right.
And now that we have the opportunity to start over in this way, it's like, okay, let's use those lessons. Let's not make the same mistakes we did. Like, let's support each other. Let's all love each other and just want to lift each other up.
Right.
And that's
half the battle, right?
It sounds cheesy, but it's like when you're out here grinding and you're on day 5 in a row and everyone's on 0 sleep and, it's just like, we just got to get through this one. That's when it really, like, you can't be chippy and, not be supportive of your fellow band members and, family. Like, we're a big family out here.
And I bet you learned, it didn't hurt that you learned from fucking Zach Brown, going on tour with Zach Brown in the horn section.
It was terrific. How can we replicate that kind of professionalism and honestly just energy and feeling? Because they treat each other with respect too. And it's like you see that at the highest levels. People aren't trying to chop each other down so they can climb up. It's like, no, they're supporting each other. So like, let's keep that.
Yeah, that's one of the weird things. People think like you have to just be an asshole to be on the top. No, music isn't like that. I mean, it's a collaborative thing in the first place.
Absolutely.
Like, people think like you gotta fucking be cutthroat. You gotta fucking chew everyone down, throw everyone under the bus. No, you could be nice and still be successful.
Totally. Yes, you have to be. And there's a time and a place to stand your ground.
Right.
And you have to know when to say like, nope, that's a boundary. We're not going to cross that.
Right.
I'm not going to let you dick me around.
Right.
Whatever. If it's like getting paid, it's like, hey, no, this is here's the agreement, here's the contract.
Right.
We're leaving here with that.
Let's
We're
go.
leaving here with that. Don't make me call John.
That's my show, Cody.
Don't make
us call Bongiorno. Do not make us call Bongiorno. Bookers, talent bookers, don't make us call John because he will wake up. And if we wake him up from his precious sleep he barely gets, he will kill a motherfucker.
He will rain fire down upon you.
Well, Chris, it's been an honor to we always hang, we always do these shows, but we never had like real hang. I feel like this is we're bonding here.
Yeah.
So,
this has been a good hang, man.
all right, Chris, thanks for being on the show. You're the best.
You're the best, dude.
Everyone is the shit. We love everyone here so much.
Love you, bro.
Yeah, be safe out there, and let's not take these 4 shows for granted. Let's go pop it
Hell
off.
yeah.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
Love you, buddy.
Love you.
Thank you. That's Christopher from Cool. God, what a fucking vibe. I love the unexpected tours. It's like you come in there like, at first I was worried. I'm like, fuck, they have like 8,000 people in their band. I'm like, fuck, this is going to be a pain in the ass. But we all work together. And, when you take the perspective out of like, it's going to be difficult having this many people backloading, offloading on stage, then if you take that perspective out before you do something and just be there with a clean slate, everything works out beautifully. I said, fuck that. I used to be the person who just like went into things thinking, oh, fuck, this is going to be fucked up. The minute I stopped doing that was the minute I started like enjoying life. We can't stereotype things, people, before it even happens. Because that is what's going to get us in depression holes. That's what's going to get us judging. Why are we judging people? Why are we judging things? Let's have a clean slate, have an open conversation with whoever we need to, and just fucking enjoy life. Fuck. We're stressed out. Everyone's all stressed out. Take a deep breath and realize that we're going to make it through this shit. That's what Elle Duncan, I'm so excited you're going to hear this. I'm a sports geek, and she goes further than just sports, people, so you're going to love this interview. She's just a pop culture extraordinaire. We're talking about fan bases. We're talking about cities. We were talking about everything. So I think you're going to love this one. So before we get Elle on the show, I want to talk about our sponsors. Dialed In Gummies first. Yes, people. Go to Dialed In Gummies. Get some, if you're in the Colorado area, guys, Red Rocks have been beautiful shows. I've been watching Goose just fucking crush that fucking Red Rock show. Congratulations to the boys. Everyone's really, I've been just on Twitter and all I see is Goose Night 2, what the fuck? So that was dope. So if you're coming in for a Red Rock show, go and get some Dialed In Gummies. It doesn't hurt to just get some. Just get some. That's all. Try them out. And even if you're not a weed fan, maybe you don't like smoking. Like I don't really like smoking weed anymore. It sounds like I was like, I don't like smoking the pipe. I like doing the edible, and it's just like I could control the dosage. It's homogenized. So like if you only want 5 milligrams, or if you want 10, or if you want like 2.5, you can cut in cubes. I mean, you are in control of your destiny, people. So grab yourself some dialed-in gummies, and I guarantee you, and they taste bomb. Some of these, it's like going on tour, because I ran out of dialed-in gummies, and I can't get them shipped because that's illegal to me. So I've been having to like take gummies from other people, and they're just not tight. I did try some MDMA gummies. That was tight, and they tasted good. Normally those MDMA gummies taste like shit, but they were so good. I didn't realize I took so many. Then I start sweating. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot him. This feels like Berlin in 1993 again. But anyway, that's past point. Go get some dialed-in gummies. And then volume.com. Guys, if you want to watch this interview, Elle is an amazing, and I got Nick on. Nick and I are doing the interview together. Plus, Nick is going to be on for next week. Me and Nick are going to do an hour, just recap the tour a little bit. I know you guys are interested in what the fuck's been going down in these streets. But yeah, volume.com. Head to volume.com. If you want to do if you're into live streams, this is the place to do it. If you're into seeing live shows and archiving live shows, volume.com is the place to be. There's no better place, and I'm not just saying that because they pay us. I really do believe that everyone who works with volume.com, if it's Ben, if it's Merlino, Constantine, they all have the bigger purpose of trying to make the best product possible. And for that, I thank them. So I'm on board. I'm drinking the volume.com Kool-Aid. So if you're a content creator, why not have the best team in the live stream business get at you and help you get your content to be the best it can be? It's only going to help people, We're in this AI world. I just made an AI, yearbook pictures of everyone involved and of the band, and I didn't even do much, and it made us look insane. It's just the computers are coming, so we might as well fucking take advantage of all this beautiful live streams that humans are bringing their art to. So go to volume.com, or if you're just a listener or just a fan, they have all these live streams. Or if you want to stockpot, we have every episode on the season is on my volume.com/Andy Frasco. So if you want to rewatch a couple podcasts, if you want to get up to date with a few, I've been adding podcasts on Fridays. I don't know if you've been seeing that, because we have so many fucking interviews I haven't even posted yet, and we're getting close to the end of the season. I'm going to, every couple weeks, I'm going to add another one. Like maybe next week I'll add another one. Like Pete Francis, formerly of Dispatch. That story's insane. Or maybe Dan Reeder. I love Dan Reeder. So I want to get these out there because these are all important interviews. I really want to get you going on them. All right, guys, we're done. I got to go sound check. We're in Richmond, Virginia, which I love. Shout out to Richmond. What a great fucking city. Food culture, the bar scene, it's hipster. I feel like it's hip as fuck. There's still a little bit of, Confederate wild stuff. I feel like there's some Confederate flags on Priuses out here, but sometimes I feel like it's hip, it's progressive. Then you see, oh yeah, there's a little racism in here as well. But what can you do? It's the South, baby. All right, we love you. Be safe out there. Stay happy. Stay inspired. Be who you want to be. Surround yourself with people you want to hang out with, because you got to realize you're your own person. And let's just be happy. None of this bullshit. None of this pity me shit. Stop marinating shit, and let's get down to business. All right. Enjoy Elle Duncan, and I'll see you next week with Nick. Boom. Hey, Elle, how you doing?
Hi, what's up, guys?
What are you doing? The hardest working woman in show business. You got so many things going on.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say hardest whooping. I was like, it feels like that every day. It's not even noon, and I feel like I got my ass beat already.
How's it going? What is a day in the life for you as a sports anchor? What time do you wake up? How do you have to get your news? Give me the whole nine for working for ESPN.
Yeah, well, my kids usually wake me up around 6:30 or 6:45 with screams of, can I get a donut or whatever. They're 5 and 2.5. So it really just my day really starts once I actually ship them off to school. So once I'm back home at 8:30, I'll probably spend a couple of hours just looking at the influx of games I couldn't get to the night before. Because unlike other colleagues that I have that are sports specific, I'm SportsCenter. We literally talk about everything, you know, like I might have to know a little bit something about Korean baseball. So I'll try to spend a couple of hours catching up. But honestly, we really have like a really, really, really deep team. I mean, I've got on my 6 p.m. SportsCenter, guys, there's probably like 25 people that work on it. I've got researchers that can give me any nonsensical stat you could think of. And I've got news editors that literally are there only to make sure that I didn't say dumb shit or inaccurate things, and producers and so, you know, it's a factory, it's a well-oiled machine, and we lean on a lot of people, honestly.
Yeah, it's great. I always wonder about that with 24-hour newses. Like, how do you keep the news fresh? How do you keep like each content fresh with like you're on all the time? And like, how do all these do you have your own personal producer, or just are you basically just like trying to skim fat as much as you can to try to get more content?
I was going to say, what do you mean? How do I keep it fresh? Have you ever watched any sports television? We don't. We all just say the same thing.
Yes.
We all just watch the show before, and we're like, well, they were talking about that. Let's just talk about that.
New games every day. That's how they keep it fresh.
Yeah, exactly. Is Michael Jordan or LeBron James the greatest? We just trot out conversations like that.
Finally, we're talking about that.
Finally, someone wants to get the bottom of that.
It's LeBron.
I think here's the beautiful thing about sports, just like anything else in life, right? I mean, you guys do a podcast. Sometimes you've got tons of content for the podcast. Sometimes you're limping to the finish line. And that's we're in a great season. It is a robust season. There's a lot to talk about. We've got the NFL, we've got college football. Baseball is about to get, to a point where everyone will suddenly tune in and care. NBA is about to pick back up. In the months in like June and July in the summer, it's very lean. It's very hard. That's where you're going to start getting a lot of those manufactured conversations and where people are just sort of being, like flamboyant for the sake of doing it. But, the beautiful thing with sports, guys, is that it really does change all the time. And then these stories come that you didn't anticipate, like Prime time, like Coach Prime at Colorado. I mean, what he's done at CU was not at all a storyline that we thought we'd be talking about ad nauseum through the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, it's true.
What a gift that's been. You guys are in Colorado, right?
Yeah, we're in Denver, and
it's all anyone talks about here.
It's all anyone talks about.
People suddenly care about college football in Colorado.
I know, it's so funny. It's like, and it's like these rich white dudes who don't even give a shit about football normally.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like oh my God.
Let's go party.
Let's go,
Dion's here.
Yeah, I was just in Boulder. Full disclosure, whole family, both sides, all from Denver. So
okay, cool.
Colorado runs, and I was in Boulder to cover, the Rocky Mountain Showdown with Colorado State last week.
Oh.
And I'm not going to lie, I never spent a ton of time in Boulder. My mom told me stories of that's where all the hippies communed in the 60s and 70s and they never left. But listening to all of these like third, fourth, and fifth generation hippies try to like quote Deion Sanders has been particularly cringy.
God,
he's on fleek.
Little old lady. We here.
Yeah, we here.
We're not coming. We here. I'm like, oh no, it's been interesting. I think Deion's just got a different kind of sauce than Boulder has been used to.
Right.
But I love that they're embracing him.
Yeah. It's important. I don't know. It's like all those guys like last week went to Grateful Dead at Folsom Field. Now they're rooting for Deion Sanders.
now they're all saying bull junk.
Yeah.
No one in Boulder can swear anymore because of Deion.
Yeah.
He doesn't swear. It's funny.
Oh, that's amazing.
He says that's all that bull junk.
All that bull junk.
Yeah.
What made you fall in love with sports? And what made you fall in love with radio? Like what made you fall in love with being a personality on television?
Well, I think for sports, I just was raised in a sports family. It really comes from my mom. People are always like, did you get your love of sports from your dad? I'm like, no, my mom is a fanatic. And so just our whole life sort of revolved around us playing sports or us watching the Broncos and so it was sort of just foundational to me growing up.
Right.
And then as I got older, I think I realized for a long time I thought I wanted to be an actress because I just knew I didn't want to do a desk job. I was like, I'm too ADD. It's just not for me. I've got a lot of energy. I've got a lot of weird quirks that I can that I can do. So when I went out to Hollywood at 19 with like $150, after 4 months, I realized maybe I don't want to be an actress. Maybe
I like food,
right? Maybe I like to eat, right? Like I like a place to live. And so I think what I realized in that process was I had thought I wanted to play other people because I wanted to play for a living. But what I realized is I would rather be me. So I thought broadcasting would be a great place to sort of, have an opportunity to be yourself, but also, play into a character and entertain and all of those other things that I find really interesting. So that was sort of the goal. And I did sports radio. I was a paid intern. I was a receptionist at a hair salon up the street from the salon. And I would take my lunch break and I would go over to the radio station, hop on the radio station for my 15-minute hit, giving entertainment and like gross stories on the internet. And then I'd go back to work, and I did that. And then that led to a job in hip hop radio in Atlanta that led to, me finally sort of pivoting full-time into sports. And yeah, I just think I'm one of those people that I love. It sounds really, really corny and cliche, but my favorite thing in the world, I think maybe my best talent in the world, is my ability to connect with people. I love hearing stories. I love sharing stories. I love giving people energy. I love filling up a room. I like figuring out what the room needs and providing that. And so being able to sort of do a lot of different platforms and a lot of different spaces has allowed me to touch into all of those things that are sort of innate in me anyway. I'd be doing all of this same stuff, save for the camera being in my face, of course, if I wasn't doing it for a living. So I'm really blessed in that way, that I get to just show up every day and be myself.
Who was the first one that really told you that you could be yourself and follow dreams?
My parents. Yeah. I'm bringing all kinds of cliches. And what I always remember about my mom is just like how she was just incensed. Like she would see other people, and it wasn't that she was hating. It's just that she'd see other people sort of doing what I wanted to do and be like, there's no damn way you can't do that. I know you can do that, and they always provided me a cushion. I don't know y'all's background, but I will say this, it's a lot easier to be brave and bold. All these idioms and all these expressions people tell you, fortune favors the bold and all that bullshit. It's a lot easier to jump and leap and fly and all that crap when you've got a net under you. And my parents always made sure I knew that if I wanted to pursue my crazy dreams, that they would always support me in any possible way. And sometimes that meant financially. So they never ended up having to, but knowing I always had that really helped me when I was making decisions like taking a pay cut to move to Boston, one of the most expensive cities in the country, and live with spiders. So I knew that if it didn't work out and if I left, I had, a break glass in case of emergency plan. So having them has been so instrumental to, the 20-year journey I've been on.
Do sports fans annoy you or do you like them?
Yes.
They feel like they're annoying as well.
Do you have a family member
Yeah.
who you love? Like, right? Like
No,
you love that you're going to get fireworks from them at a family reunion, but then you love to see them leave.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my relationship with sports fans. It's
I
like,
think I am that person in my home.
Are you?
I think I am that guy in my film.
Are you?
No, I'm just kidding.
What's your go-to? Like, are you like the drunk cousin? Are you, everybody has their moniker.
I'm just like the guy that's always like picking at I like to make fun of everybody constantly. I'm that guy, but I'm the oldest. So it's kind of my job.
Yeah, I show up high on shrooms at the family reunions.
He's the wild card. I'm like the one that's like, we're going to get little comments.
That's what I thought. Like, it's like, I keep thinking about this. Like, it's got to be tough to I felt like what wasn't easy. Like, what did you like more, being on the radio or doing television, doing sports? Like, feels like radio would be such a better job. You don't have to put on makeup. You could just kind of just do your personality. I feel like you got to wake up now at fucking 8 a.m. after your kids are yelling at you and shit, and you got to be dolled up and you got to be on. Radio, you could kind of don't have to be on as much. Well, your voice does, but you could see it in your eyes, right? When sometimes you're having a shitty day.
Oh, yeah, you can wear pajamas to work and shit like that. And you can literally be like eating. Like you can like have your, I would eat. Like I would take a bite of my sandwich and just have my co-host like wax poetic while I like finish my breakfast sandwich when I did radio. I will say too, the disappointment and sadness in people's face, like when you do radio, right? People assume that you're busted, right? A face for radio is an expression for a reason. So then people see you and they're like pleasantly surprised, right? They're like, okay. Conversely, because I do television and I have an entire team of people whose like whole ass job it is to make me look like a glamazon, when they see me out in the wild, just looking like, you know, a homeless mom, because that's pretty much what I look like every day. They're just so fucking disappointed. And it's like really so, they're just like, oh, you don't. I had a guy, you guys, I swear to God, the other day at Dave & Buster's. I can see him staring at me. I'm with my kids. It's like a Wednesday at like noon. Okay. And I can see him looking at me and I'm like, what is, he comes over before he even says hello. He comes over and he goes, I'm going to be honest. I know who you are. And I'm just trying to compartmentalize what I'm seeing here from what I see at night on TV.
It's like, dude, you're at Dave & Buster's too.
Like with a belly, like here's the thing. It's always the ones, right? I'm like, you're short, you've got a belly, and you're balding. But yes, by all means, sir, come over and talk about how I look. It was just the audacity, I think, and that's television brings out a breed of people who, you know, before if I said something on the radio that you didn't like, you know, you'd just be like, shut the fuck up, you know, just a regular. When it comes to television, it immediately goes physical. You know, you're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid, you're lame, whatever. And so I think the audacity of people on television has been really interesting. But I will say I like the money better in TV than radio.
Let's go. I'll clap.
You gotta work more.
Let's go. Make that money, queen. Make that money.
You gotta really work for that radio money. You gotta work 75 hours a week. You gotta make car dealership appearances, right? You gotta sign autographs at the Publix. You can do a lot of shit for that money in radio.
Yeah, concerts you don't want to go to, probably.
Yeah.
And I guarantee that guy's not saying Le Batard's ugly, and that fool's ugly as shit, dog.
You know, Le Batard is sneaky, a very tall man. Did you know that?
I thought he'd be like 5'6", honestly.
He's huge. He's like 6'5".
What?
It almost like, I swear to God, like you meet him in person and you're like, Jesus, you're a really big man. He is very tall.
Is he taller than Van Pelt? Is he taller than Scott Van Pelt?
He's close though. They're right there. I mean, Van Pelt's very tall.
He's like huge. It looks like,
but they're close.
Yeah. Going back to this idea of like these people just coming up to you and kind of just like talking shit in front of your face. Do you think it's like it's sexist in sports because you're a woman doing sports?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't. I think some people just weren't raised right and don't have couth. Like I don't, you know, I don't. Like I've got male colleagues that will tell you people say the same thing to them, like, "Oh, you look so much smaller in person," or whatever. I think people have this inability to understand that words have meaning, and also, I think that because so many people can just blindly say whatever the fuck they want to on social media, they almost forget that there's a filter in real life. Like, just say it in your head.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a firm believer. I don't give a shit if you talk about me behind my back. It's none of my business. I don't care. I prefer it. Say all those things about me behind my back. This idea that we want truth tellers to come up and say their truth to us. No, I don't. Fuck you. Stop bothering me and don't waste my day.
Let's fucking go, Elle.
Keep your truth to yourself, people.
But like
honestly, just talk about me behind my back. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
But do you think it's the idea like you're in their televisions at 6 o'clock when they get off work? They feel like you're their only friend. Some of these fucking, you know, like then they feel like they get connected to you, and then they see you like they think like.
So like you're asking like. Maybe they don't see her as a real person, maybe. Or something.
I think of that like Howard Stern. Like I'm doing the Stern show on Monday, and I feel like I know everything about him right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm gonna be a complete idiot when I'm like asking him about Metamucin and stuff. You know? Like
he's like, who are you again? Yeah.
But like, do you get that? Do people feel a little too comfortable with you when they see you on the street or anything?
Yeah, I think that people sort of has said to, and I try to be patient with people because I do the same thing, where people almost write it off as it's a price that you pay, right? Like you get to be on TV, you get to make all this money talking about sports, you get to get your hair and makeup done, you get to live this life, and therefore I get to dismantle how you look or say things about you or get in your business or get personal. Because at the end of the day, right, you can't complain. Who would listen? Right. And I think that, we do sort of the same thing with movie stars, or where we just have no sympathy or empathy for them in any way, because we just assume, well, this is the price that they have to pay for the ability to live this incredible life in Hollywood and have servants and all these things that we just assume these rich people have. And so, yes, I do. I think that people have such a disconnection between the athletes or the people that they see on TV or the people that they listen to on podcasts, because they just assume, that that's the cross that you have to bear. And at the end of the day, it's still better than what they have to do, right? Go to jobs that they hate, get paid a lot less money than you do. And so, I try to understand, that it's sort of the human condition to want to tear people down ultimately, or to humble them. But I would say that, before you become sort of the bearer of humility, ask yourself if that person needs it, or if that person goes home and is incredibly grateful and thankful and works really hard and helps support an entire group and ecosystem of people. I mean, your podcast, there's a lot of people that work on it that depend on you. And so I think while we're so busy trying to tear down the subject, we should remember as well that there's a whole group of people that depend on them, that depend on their resources and their ability to appeal to you. So keep that in mind too.
What if you have a take that someone doesn't agree on? Are they deep in your DMs? Are they talking shit? Do you read all that stuff? I'd be nervous about all that shit. I'd be but you don't give a shit. No. You just you throw the hot takes and you say fuck it. Right?
I don't care. Here's the reason why, because I can defend every one of my takes. I do not say inflammatory takes. I say exactly how I feel. It's not for the sake of ratcheting up, controversy or anything like that. But also what I ultimately learned, guys, is that all of it is poison, the good, bad, and ugly. You're not as good as they say you are. You're not as bad as they say. You're not the best anchor that ever lived. You're not the worst anchor that ever lived. You're not the smartest or the stupidest. You're none of really those things, right? And ultimately, as a woman on television, I am much more concerned, not with the guy who tweets at me my mugshot or, calls me a moron. I'm much more concerned with the guy that sends me a video of him masturbating, which also happens quite frequently.
What the fuck?
That to me,
I bet.
All the time.
Why don't people realize that is a crime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to trace who did it.
And what do they think? It's hot? It's a dick. It doesn't look hot. A dick is not hot.
No, they're very ugly looking. And also I guess I wonder, and I have a lot of colleagues, this happens to a lot of them. I was just texting with a very famous television personality last week about this. And she was like, oh, I just got one. Wonder if it's our same guy. Want to compare dicks?
I never thought about that. The same guy might be sending a bunch to everybody.
They make the circuit. Yeah. There's a guy actually who is has frequented ESPN for years, and what he claims to have a charity where he takes shoes from people that are famous, worn shoes, and he claims that if you sign the shoes, you send them back, and then he auctions them off for charity. That's his claim. But what he really does is he's just got a foot fetish. So he just gets you to send him shoes so he can smell them.
He's just smelling them.
At least that's not invasive, I guess. He's not
he doesn't come up to you and touch your foot. He can't get access to you. We have security gates, but that's his whole thing, is pretending to have this charity that donates. And I'm sure that there are charities that do that. Just this man does not have that charity. Of course, and he's always really insistent that the shoes are worn. He'll say it multiple times. If there's foot sweat, I like to see footprints. He's that legitimizes that you wore them. He's real into it.
Oh, it's
his mother must be so proud of him.
It's why do you?
But the thing is, who does that work on?
I don't know.
Has that ever worked in the history that you send a picture of yourself pleasing yourself or a video, and that someone's like, "I like what I see. What time?" Does that work?
Someone that wasn't asked for at all.
This is why women are way more developed than men. Women aren't just sending vagina shots straight, hey, what's up? It's not a fucking thing.
That might work though. Actually, if women did it.
No, then you get the creep.
We don't have to. You guys are too simple. Exactly. I mean, if a girl literally sends you a picture of just her being like this, that's enough for y'all. You don't need a vagina picture.
It really is, actually.
It's so true.
Takes very little.
Give me one take before, like, I want to talk about the DUI thing because I think this is bullshit that you got a DUI for a .099. That's baloney. But first, I want to talk about like who is the worst sports fan base in the country?
Yeah.
Like who is like
and why is
who
it Boston?
Such assholes and why is it Boston?
Yeah.
I'm a Laker fan, so
Okay.
I want to talk about Kobe too.
So-
but yeah, give me it.
I will say, rest in peace, winning time. By the way, I can't believe
I
it
know, I
ended
like
with
that
Boston.
show.
Especially with Boston winning
I know.
at the season.
Boston winning. Ugh.
Nobody's watching it.
Okay, worst fan base in terms of insufferable
Yeah.
Yeah.
is Philadelphia. Still,
Oh,
it's Philly.
Hot take.
Philly
like
fans are pretty insufferable. I say that just because Boston fans, at the very least, they're horrible to everybody else, but they have I think personally, having lived there, I think they have the highest sports acumen. I think their sports IQ is out of here. They know the history, the present, the future, damn near sometimes. And I think they obviously just have a legacy of winning, and it's Boston. So we don't love the makeup of their fan base. But I would say in terms of just, I could still send my parents to a Braves game at Fenway. I would never send my parents to a Braves game at the Phillies park. I would never do that.
They did throw batteries at Santa Claus one time. That really happened. They were throwing.
Yeah, they're really mean. They boo. Like they know no bounds. They're like the opposite of the Bills fans.
Who's like the most?
So I'm gonna go with
Philly. Okay. Who's the most
like casual?
Who's the most racist fan base?
Back to Boston.
You're trying to get me to go to Boston. It's Boston.
He just wants you to talk shit about Celtics fans.
I'm so heated about this winning time thing. That just makes
He's like, what city near Massachusetts? What city in Massachusetts?
And their basketball team wears green. And their best player of all time is white.
Teams?
Yeah.
See, I'm a Laker fan. Are we obnoxious? Like, we always think everyone's coming to our team. Are we obnoxious to you, Elle?
No.
Entitled, maybe?
No, not at all. You're Hollywood.
Yeah.
You're Hollywood.
More entitled, I think.
No, I think. Yes, I think that people would say probably entitled, but I also think that when it comes to the Lakers specifically, there's not a single person that defects to the Lakers where someone goes, I don't understand. I don't get it. Right?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think we
it's
get
fun.
it, especially for a guy like LeBron. As you move a little later in your career, I think everything else that Hollywood brings along with it, the ability to have a production company and all those other things that are important and do business at the entertainment epicenter of the world is pretty good too. So no, Lakers fans, you guys are all right with me. In the order, it's Philly fans,
Yeah.
Boston fans, and then I would put the Yankees there too. I put the Yankees
Okay.
just because they've caused a lot of stuff.
I got one more fan base question. I like all the Cleveland teams. Are we the saddest fan base in America?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got to be us.
Yeah.
Minnesota's pretty bad. It's got to be Cleveland, though.
Yeah, but see, I still get pleasure in like picking at Minnesota. I don't get pleasure in picking on Cleveland
Too
fans
sad,
anymore.
right?
It's like kicking a puppy.
Now Nick Chubb
Yeah, it's like kicking a puppy.
Nick Chubb's career might be over now. We've had the best running back in the league, and now he might be done forever.
Devastating. That was the most gruesome. Like, if we won't even replay it, you know it's horrible.
They wouldn't replay it during the game. They caught it. Yeah.
Yeah. It former dog, obviously. Go Dogs.
I love them.
Yeah, I will say this, though. A lot of your suffering got a little bit better after you guys won at least the NBA championship. And I do know that you guys are a football town, and with all the heartache, I am a Broncos fan. We gave you a little bit of that heartache.
Yeah, late 80s.
I do know that like you care more about football, and that's important. But I would say still,
baseball team's good.
if I'm just thinking about the saddest fan bases ever, just because they will have like you guys have never really been there, right? Like you guys are lovable, straight up lovable losers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still gonna say the saddest fan base of all time is the Bills.
The Buffalo Bills. That's our producer.
That's our producer's team.
It's like you were the
They're fun,
best
though.
loser of all time.
Yeah,
I know.
4 in a row? That's almost impossible.
And now they're like almost getting there, not winning
that's fucked
again.
up.
Josh Allen keeps fumbling every time.
They're not even getting there now.
Yeah.
Let me ask your producer, would you rather go every year and lose the Super Bowl or not eat or just like progressively not get closer to it? Like take us
What do you
because
think,
a couple
Bo?
years ago we were in the conference championships. Now we're getting bounced in the division rounds. I'm just wondering, producer.
What do you think, Bo?
I think he'd lose. I think it's
She wants to know if you'd rather go to the Super Bowl and lose every year or like lose in the first round of the playoffs.
First
like
round.
they're doing now.
First round.
That would be more heartbreaking.
Really?
So I couldn't do that.
The Browns-
I'd rather be there in the Super Bowl, in the championship, and lose, and not just
At
like
least
just
you feel something for a little bit. The Browns are so bad; they have 3 losses that have nicknames: the drive, the fumble, and Red Right 88. That's incredible.
Yeah.
2 of them are Broncos.
Why do we take sports and celebrities so goddamn to heart?
I have no idea. I wish I knew because my mentions wouldn't look the way that they look. I have no idea. I do honestly believe that there is no real outrage. I
Right.
stand on that. I stand on the fact that Twitter outrage is not real outrage.
Agree.
And that just because you tweet that you're upset about something or that something is devastating to you, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
No, it is not. It's not. You're still going to go to your job. You're still going to fucking pick your kids up from school.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to like put your foot down and say like, this is where I draw the line. I just think that like people pretend now to care more about things than they actually do because it's become much easier to express your outrage and your anger. And in fact, not to get crazy serious on you, but I've got a friend that works in the activism space. And she's like, the worst thing that ever happened to activism is social media. And you would think that wouldn't be true. Look at all the GoFundMes and the Kickstarters and all these great things that have come about fundraising through social media. She's like, but the problem is people think because they posted their tweet, this is my opinion on this, or hey, go vote for this, that they're done, that they don't actually have to do anything in their
Right.
community. They don't actually have to go and volunteer. They don't actually have to go and impact any real change because they feel like they're Twitter activists.
Right.
So they're like, I did what I did and like, we're good to go now. And that's just not the case. I'd rather you shut the fuck up, lay out and actually do something in your community that I don't know about.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go, Al. That's what I'm talking about. Our queen. But it's like, it's bullshit because like, no, and I blame it on ADHD social media culture again, that we're forgetting shit after 6 seconds.
It's also performative. People like to be performative.
Yeah, but they're not doing anything about it. It's just like
That's
you're a
what I'm saying.
keyboard warrior. And
That's
you're
what
not
performative is, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Thumb thugs. I like to call them thumb thugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Twitter, like people think Twitter represents like what people actually think in the real world. And it really doesn't. It's a very small. It's a very small segment of people. It's like not, you know what I mean? But they're just loud. So people think that that's like they're like everyone's mad. It's like no, it's 18 people on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you could say that about 24-hour news with like the Cuomos of the world and like, you know, the Bill O'Reillys and like, you know, like, isn't that the same thing or no? It's just.
I think the problem is, guys, is that we've got like, we have confused what bloggers and journalists and writers and op-eds, we just confused what they all are. And we sort of paint everybody with the broad media stroke. And then we say things like the media is the monster. But the truth of the matter is when someone is getting paid, you know, $100 or $150 per article or per paragraph to put a story up on Yahoo, and that's how they make their living, then you're going to get those stories that say things like, there's huge debate over whether blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to go take a couple of tweets from nobodies with 6 or 7 followers, and then they're going to put them in the article. And then all of a sudden, on the front of your Yahoo timeline, you see there's outrage on social, and that's bullshit. It's someone that needed to put that story out, collected a couple of tweets, made it a thing, and it becomes this echo chamber. And that's why I've really started to try to get off of it in general. Because, of course, I'm not one of those people that's like mature and elevated enough to say, I'm going to follow people whose opinions I don't respect. Like, fuck that. I don't want to hear it, and I don't respect you, and I don't want to hear your opinion. But I also noticed that you start living in an echo chamber, and you're only seeing the same news feed, and you're only and you and your friends are all reacting to the same few stories, and it's like
that can be bad.
This isn't healthy either, right? Like none of this is particularly healthy. So you do have to be more intentional nowadays of where you find your information. There is real journalism still out there. There is places where you just go to get your news, and there's no opinion, and there's no extra any. You just got to look a little more nowadays, right? You've got to try, but just to say that it doesn't exist anymore in some vacuums, bullshit.
What's your definition of real journalism?
To me, I'm not a real journalist. I'm not. And I will be the first to say that. I'm an entertainer. I like to do the E and ESPN because there are journalistic principles that you're supposed to go by when you go to journalism school. And you learn about all those things. Namely, you're not supposed to have an opinion. You're supposed to present the facts. You are essentially chronicling history. That's your job, is to just you're journaling history. Like you're chronicling what is happening as it is happening. And you are leaving the people out there to come up with those opinions. The problem now is when you go on the New York Times, what they'll do is they'll slide in, New York Times opinion article, but the opinion part is very tiny. And then it's on the front page. And then all of a sudden you think on the front page of the New York Times, they're saying that Jim Caviezel movie was great, when really it was just one person's opinion who is not a journalist.
Sure.
He's an op-ed writer, right? And so that's the problem, is that we are lazy in general as a society, myself too. And so we don't want to dig through, parse through, read between the lines. We don't want to do any of those things. And so it's much easier to just paint everyone as sort of the enemy and to say, you can't trust anyone. No one can be trusted. And that's just not true.
True. Like, so how do you approach your own show when you have the Elle Duncan show? Like, how do you approach journalism that way? Same way?
I don't. Have you ever listened to my show? There's no journalism in it at all.
You don't think so?
We literally started the podcast the other day talking about bathroom etiquette. Yeah. In fact, I'd love to get your opinion on this.
Okay.
Give it to me.
If you are the first person waiting in line, like if you're the next person to get to use a stall because the stalls are occupied, do you have a responsibility to the people behind you in line to make sure all the stalls are actually occupied? So that not everyone's standing there like an asshole even though there's an empty stall somewhere. Right. That happened to me. And the lady led me to believe that all of the stalls were full because she was standing there.
Yeah, that's an
oversight.
oversight.
So she goes into a stall and I'm like, here I go, waiting for another stall to open, and nothing is happening. And I realized it's been open this whole time. Yeah. And I blamed her because she should have said something.
Yeah.
Or else I'm the asshole that jumps someone and starts checking doors, which I'm also not supposed to do, right?
Like, it's like, yo, you still taking a shit in there?
Yeah.
No,
she didn't do her due diligence. That's her fault.
But I go back to fucking social media where no one can communicate anymore. We're not communicating over until it's fucking on your phone.
Gen Z can't talk to each other unless they're holding their phone up and interviewing someone on a TikTok anymore. It's like they cannot have real conversations.
Like, how is that? Yeah. How is that going to affect civilization and humanity moving forward if we can't even communicate about how we feel?
I don't know.
Interpersonal skills are at an all-time low.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's totally their fault, right? Like I catch myself being like, oh man, like I can get this thing done.
Yeah.
And give you, kid an iPad or a phone to look at or put on TV for you. Or I can sit here and play Uno with you for the 50th time and get nothing done. Yeah, and so we lean on technology because it is easier and it does help us. And I think that now we've got these kids that just, that kids are now growing like a bone or something. Now I read this online and it wasn't real journalism, so I don't know if this is true. Right? The bone, like the nodule from looking down,
hunching
they're
over,
forming another like vertebrae.
Yeah.
From looking down so much.
We need to. What are we gonna? Yeah. We gotta turn off these phones.
Yep.
And live.
Social media is going to be cigarettes in like 30, 40 years. I think people are going to look at it like cigarettes.
Think so?
That's what I think, but I'm wrong all the time. So,
what do you think, Elle? I mean, we do need constant. We are addicted now to this ADHD culture where like we can't deal with our anxiety by ourselves anymore. Like the minute we have anxiety, we look at our phone or we scroll. We
tell everyone we know about it.
I think we're genetically fucked now.
I think that it has become such a part of our DNA and I saw the other day, my phone was like, congratulations, you're down to 8.5 hours of screen time per day. And I was like, I was so embarrassed. I was embarrassed because I was down 2 hours. I was like, how the fuck am I on my phone 10 hours, also work, also have a family? How does this happen? And it's because, to your point, like the second that I am bored or there is silence or I don't know what to do with my thoughts or feelings, right for the phone. And it's just like a mom, you're not even doing anything. And then before you know it, an hour's gone by. And that's how you get to 9 hours of screen time in a day. But I'm hopeful that like everything in life, guys, right? There is always a wave and a movement to do something. And then there is always a counter movement. And I don't know how it's going to happen, or maybe the collapse of Twitter being like the first thing. But I am hopeful that in the same way that young people have really ushered in technology, it will require young people sort of saying, we don't want this. Because right now you've got a bunch of old dudes that are older even than us sitting in these offices making all of these decisions. And this is what they all tell each other. The kids, they love the technology. The kids, they love the social media. So everything has become that. It is going to take the kids going, no, the fuck we don't. Right. No. That's not true. That's just something y'all believe. The second that they start pulling back is when we will start to see a little bit of a course correction. But as long as these powers that be think that that's where you go find the youths, then that's just what we're going to be dealing with.
Yeah, and I see that with politics as well. I think kids these days aren't really agreeing with this two-party politics anymore. They're having their own opinions on it, which is thank fucking Lord.
And they're like seeing through the president, just like in general, they just see through all like the Congress people more because there's more information about them to get. So I mean, there's good sides to it, but I think that kind of speaks to the media thing too, where we keep blaming the media for news being this way, and we keep blaming social media for being a certain way. But it's like, at what point do we blame the consumers? Because they're the ones really guiding what the people make. If they weren't buying it, it's like McDonald's wouldn't make the Big Mac if no one was eating Big Macs. You know what I'm saying? So I think you have to blame the consumer a little bit for this. They're the ones clicking, right?
There is data surrounding every decision that is made. These people don't just make decisions in a vacuum.
Right.
So in my own world, we always get so much shit, you guys, all the time. All you guys do is talk about LeBron and the Cowboys and the... But here's the thing.
That's what you click on.
We literally, you guys, we've got a rating system where we can see what we were talking about at that exact moment in the show and how many of you turned it off. And if we can show how many of you tuned in because of da-da-da-da and how many of you stayed with us even though we were talking about LeBron. So the point is, you're doing that.
Exactly.
And I understand, maybe personally, individually, you don't like the Cowboys. You want some of those sub-stories. You want us to talk about the underdog teams.
Right.
But when we're casting a really wide net, we are following the metrics. And the metrics say, if you talk about the Lakers, you get ratings.
Yeah.
If you talk about the Cowboys, you get ratings. If you talk about big name stars, Patrick Mahomes, whatever, Aaron Rodgers, you get ratings.
Yeah.
That's just is what it is. We can't fight the metric. Get mad at each other.
Supply and demand.
We're not doing this with no research. Like we're literally correct. It's supply and demand. It's capitalism. You're asking for it. We're going to keep giving it to you. And until you change your habits, we're just going to keep feeding that beast.
And nobody wants to hear about your sad ass organization, the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry. It's like
the Browns get talked about. I think the Browns get talked about enough this year. Actually, they've gotten enough coverage. Their defense is looking good.
For the wrong reason. Sure.
Yeah. No, week one they were good. The defense is looking good.
I got two more questions. I know you got to get out of here. You're a busy woman. Have you ever had a Bill O'Reilly moment where you just like blew up on everyone? It's like, fuck it, we're going live, like teleprompter gone. Just like, have you had any one of those moments on live television?
I have never had a Bill O'Reilly moment.
What about one backstage?
I'm like more of a, I don't blow up and lose my shit. Actually, you know what? Total lies. Look at me lying, right? I was almost going to lie to your face. It had ESPN. I did get suspended many years back because I was doing radio at the time. And I walked in to say hi to one of the radio shows that was going on while they were in a commercial break. And I'm talking to one of the hosts of the radio show, and the producer's behind the board app, and I can see her on her phone. And she did that thing where you fuck up and you text the person that you're talking shit about, but you text them.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So she texts me and she's like, ugh, Elle is the fucking worst or something, she's so fake, like, ga. So I get this text as I'm standing there and I realize what she's done. And I'm like, she doesn't know. And so, I just smile at her. And she just smiles at me. What's up, girl? And so I was just like, did you maybe mean this text for someone else?
Ooh.
She realizes that she's busted. She immediately flips. She goes from like, what are you talking about to like, I meant it. And I did mean to do that. And you need to be told and da-da-da-da. And so I snapped. There had been some things that were, I didn't fight her, but I definitely might have brought up that, she claims to like,
was it
be
Rachel
at church
Nichols?
on Sunday, but
I'm just kidding.
This was radio. It was not her. Anyway, she sneakily hit the on-air button as I was cussing her out. I did not know. So across the airwaves, it was me being like, "So fuck you." That's the only time I've really ever blown up on anybody.
SEC's like, what the fuck?
Now you get famous off that.
I know. I was like.
Dan,
it wasn't great.
That's funny.
She ended up getting let go and I got suspended. But in general, I'm not a blow up person. I'm more of a snarky talk shit kind of person.
You'll talk shit to their face, right?
I'm literally going to smile through my teeth. Yeah.
Mara's like that too. She'll tell me exactly when I'm being, she calls me Mr. Barstool sometimes when I have like hot take. I'm like, man, chill. I'm like, okay. I am being an idiot.
That's a catch-all for her. Yeah, Mr. Barstool is a catch-all for Merritt. It just kind of means
he's like, except for when
behavior.
you're waddling like a duck today, Andy. You're like Portnoy today. I'm like, okay, chill, Merritt.
Except for when she works with them. They're cool when she works with them.
Yeah. Elle, thanks so much for being on the show. My last question.
You guys are the best. This is so fun.
Oh, and you're
come on next week.
Yeah. We love you. We're huge fans of you. I loved your speech you did for Kobe. That was so nice. How was important?
Thank you.
Oh yeah, he stopped recording when we talk about Kobe. I'm like, I'm obsessed with Kobe. That's my guy. He's the one who taught me work ethic. How important is Kobe Bryant to your life?
So meeting Kobe was so impactful, even at the time before Girl Dad, obviously, because it reminded me what we just talked about, right? Full circle, that people are humans. I hated Kobe. I hated him because he always killed my teams. I hated him because he wasn't on my teams.
Same.
I hated him because he was just so good, right? And he was so dominant, and he knew it. And I met him, and I sports hated him, right? Like, let's be very clear. I sports hate a lot of people. I don't hate anybody.
Yeah.
And then I met him, and I was like, oh my God. I remember calling my mom and being like, oh God, I think I like Kobe Bryant. She was like, what? No. I was like, I think I like him. I was like, he's so nice and like really smart and so cool. And so if there is nothing else, so I'll tell you this, Andy, because we didn't really hit on it too much, but I did have that DUI in my past.
Yeah.
And it was like, I had worked so hard on my reputation, which of course, you can never really repair if it gets to a certain place. And I'd worked really hard, and I thought I was doing all the right things and being smart. And I had one slip up. I had half a drink too much at a celebration for me, by the way. That's the cruel irony of life. I was being celebrated for being one of the top 25 under 25 in Atlanta. And then I got a DUI.
This was pre-Uber.
Yeah, it was younger. Yeah.
Oh, you're
well, now I was
pre-Uber.
25.
It gives it a lot more leeway, you know?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. What the irony?
I was really lucky because the arresting officer actually had arrested Reese Witherspoon 2 weeks before in Atlanta. Yeah, and he was really nice because we had a conversation on the way to jail, and he was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Well, I currently do television and radio." I was like, "But I don't know after this, you know." And we had a good talk, and he went to bat for me. He actually went to the judge and was like, "She wasn't drunk. I know what she blew, but she wasn't. And if it had been the days before cameras, I probably would have let her go or followed her home. So please don't ruin her life." So all the charges were ultimately dropped. But guys, what Kobe did for me and what Girl Dad did for me is it created a different legacy for me, because for so long, at least personally, my legacy felt like an embarrassing one. It felt like no matter the good that I've tried to do, the people that I've tried to touch, the charities that I've worked with, it still came down to a Google search of me and a really horrible mugshot. And now I think when you think about me, I think I'm more synonymous with that and the amplification and uplifting of women and the idea that we all needed a place to heal after Kobe died because we didn't know what to do with that pain. And so being a part and associated with that has meant so much to me, because it was a really horrible thing to think that you'd go your whole career and only ever be known as that person. So it's given me something else, and it's been a true blessing.
That's amazing. I mean, did you realize, did you feel like you killed that speech after, you pump yourself up like that was a bomb? I was killing that shit, or did you realize it was just came from the heart? And I think people dig being genuine. And I bet you saw the day after, everyone was so hard. I was crying when you said that stuff. I was like, thank you, Elle, because it is true.
Thank you.
It's hard, it's and I'm scared to be a dad because of those reasons, because I don't, I was a hoe when I was a kid, I was just, I appreciate the honesty with it, because I was never a fan of some Celtic players until I got to meet, I like Paul Pierce, even though he's wilding out right now.
He's wilding out.
I mean, he's honest. He's like, I'm going to the titty bar. Fuck it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about how he's saying LeBron isn't that good.
And I'm going to show all y'all.
I'm going to show all
y'all all will be in titties.
Well, thank you so much, Elle. I know you got to prepare for the for ESPN today, so you're the best.
No, thank you. Thanks for what you said. You guys are the best. This was so fun.
Thank
Can we do this all the time?
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, I'm gonna hit up Mary. We'll do once your podcast is about to blow up. I have a feeling you're the best personality out there, bud. So thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Elle, I got one last question. I'll let you go. When it's all said and done, you've done so much in your career, all these different radio, and I just saw here you were a traffic reporter. Like what? Like everything.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Atlanta too.
When it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered by?
Ooh, I want to be remembered for my energy.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to be remembered for like being like bringing fun and making you laugh and just bringing great energy. If that's my long lasting legacy, I think about that a lot, guys. Like, what would I hope everyone would say at like my funeral? How would they eulogize me? And I would just hope that everyone's shared commonality is that, you know, she came into a room and she filled it with energy. And so that's what I'm hoping.
God damn it.
Great
you
answer.
are a fucking queen. Let's go. Thank you, Elle. We love you. Enjoy your day.
Love you back.
Bye. Have a great day. Thanks for being on the show.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. Later. Oh, man, that was awesome.
She's incredible.
Yeah, you're incredible. That was awesome.